Angela's going to help us with housekeeping today.
Welcome committee members, liaisons, and members of the public to the Legal Services Trust Fund Commission Executive Committee meeting. Thank you for joining us. We will begin at 1 o'clock. We are using Zoom with the goal to foster a more inclusive environment and effective meeting. If you would like to comment during the meeting, please use the raised hand feature. To use the raised hand feature, by phone, dial *9 on your phone's dial pad to raise your hand, and do the same to lower your hand. Please use this tool to virtually indicate that you would like to speak in order to help the chair facilitate the discussion. All LST, FC, and committee meetings will be recorded and posted to the State Bar website. A friendly reminder that this is a video conference and to please be aware of your surroundings behind you. Zoom captioning is available. To enable, select Live Transcript at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Then select Enable Auto Transcription. Troubleshooting tips for those using Zoom on a computer. When on mute, hold down the space bar to temporarily unmute. If you use your phone to dial into this meeting, please be sure your computer's microphone is on mute to avoid audio feedback issues. While joining via computer is highly recommended, if an individual loses audio, they can call in separately using the Zoom conference number. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, let's take roll.
Great. Schreiber?
Here.
Al-Sarraf? Connolly?
Here.
Okay, we have quorum. I'll do liaisons. I saw Lauren, Melanie, and Laura. So I hand it back over to you, Chris.
Okay, short agenda today, but let's, I guess, first open it up for public comment, and then we'll approve the meeting minutes. Anybody, member of the public, would like to say anything?
There's no one.
Easy peasy. Okay, you saw the meeting minutes from the last meeting, and we need to approve those. So this is from the June 13th meeting, which I missed and can vote on in support of my colleagues who were present. So I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Erica. I guess I will second.
I'll do roll call.
Thank you.
Al-Sarraf? Connolly?
Yes.
Schreiber?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. We just have a couple of items on the agenda. Why don't we just slow roll this for 1 minute to see if Amin can join. So we'll just take a short couple minutes to see if he's able to jump on.
While we're waiting on that, I don't know if I can ask this question, but like, do we have everything set on the guidelines stuff for the LRAP, or do you need people, volunteers, or anything for that?
Yeah, Chris and Patience volunteered.
Okay.
Jeff also is making himself available. He's less available, so he can't attend the meetings, but he'll try to attend like one of them and at least review them. So we have more than enough.
Okay, perfect. I just
yeah
wanted to make sure there wasn't an issue there.
So Kim, I think you'll monitor when Amin is going to join. Why don't we go ahead and get started on 4.1, Tuan?
Okay, I'll just give a brief update on appointments.
Sure.
So there are 5 open spots for the upcoming term. The Board of Trustees is going to appoint 3. They have a board meeting this week. We don't anticipate any issues. Chris and I interviewed several candidates. We sent up recommendations, and the board liaison, I had an interview with them and they're taking our recommendations. So I actually don't anticipate anything at the board level. Once that gets finalized, I will email the entire commission, the 3 new members. So later this week, the 1 spot for the trust fund commission itself, Chris and Patience are going to also be doing the interviews in a couple weeks for that 1 client eligible spot. And then we'll bring a recommendation to the full commission in August. And then there is also 1 spot from the Judicial Council. And I just asked Melanie when we can make that public. And I don't know, Melanie, not to put you on the spot, but do you have an update since we last spoke? Or Laura, of when we can publicize? No.
So I'm looking at the timeline for our nominations, and it looks like they just finished meeting with the Chief Justice regarding advisory body selections, and that the appointment documents will be going to the Chief Justice for signature by August 9th.
Oh, so we might not know by the 10th?
We might not know we might know by the 10th.
We might know by the 10th, okay.
Because it looks like the week of the 14th is when they want to email appointment documents. So definitely the public notification would be going out the week of the 14th.
And I guess for this year, with the Judicial Council, it matters a little bit less because Bonachet, who's a Judicial Council appointment, it's publicly known she did not apply for your appointment, because in past years, it's nice to know by August because that's our last meeting so that we can wish people our gratitude and all that. So it's nice to have it by that meeting. But for this year, I think it's not essential, though we won't know the official chair and vice chair, though. That's the other thing, the Judicial Council, that's the new legislation. This is I think the 2nd year where they're making appointments for the chair and vice chair. So that might not be public then. Hopefully by August 10th, but it might not be.
I'll just note, Duan, to stay on top of that. And if I can get that information before the 10th.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So Duan, the Board of Trustees meeting is in July, is that right?
Yeah, it's this in a couple of days. It's like this Thursday and Friday, I think. Yeah.
So then that's appointment of 3. So will those 3 newly appointed commissioners be attending the meeting on the 10th?
No, the term doesn't start until after
September.
August. I can't remember exactly right now the date.
Yeah.
But it's not the August meeting. It's always the next meeting is when for us the November meeting. Last year we threw it off because we added 1 ad hoc meeting and then we had that weird Judicial Council and it didn't sync up right, but it should sync up this year moving forward. But November would be the first full commission meeting of the term.
Got it. Okay, so the August meeting we won't have the benefit of the new commissioners, but that will be okay.
Yeah,
got it.
But we like to have all like respective appointing authorities so that we can notify out of respect for our commissioners that are not rejoining us. It's just all the pieces need to fall in order and they don't always every year.
Got it. Okay.
So that's my update. I don't know if anybody has questions or.
Great. Any questions for anyone?
I don't have a question, but I do feel like just pointing out that from the Judicial Council, we'll have several more terms expiring next year. So we want to be really proactive about doing recruitment for that. Since we'll
that's helpful. Laura, when is your and I guess we don't have to even wait for a trigger of your application, but if you let us know as soon as application opens. But I wonder if we can also let maybe at the next full commission meeting we can let people know how many spots, so that we can start keeping an eye on recruitments, and then you let us know whether they have to be. I know Judicial Council has like more restrictions, like they have to be attorney members, and so all that good stuff, so that we can start to keep an eye on.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's good. I'd also say, we've got so many applications this year, and I know we interviewed several qualified candidates ourselves. So it does feel like asking for some people to reapply is sort of potentially in the cards. Like there's a qualified pool of candidates who've sort of already been down the road. So that's another pool of folks if we are finding ourselves in need of additional names.
Yeah, and in past years, sometimes like there's somebody that steps off like unexpectedly. Bonnie has asked us like, what if we had an alternate, then we just lock them. We try to direct them over that way, Laura and Melanie. So we can certainly give you a few names to keep in mind.
Yeah. Okay. And then just last thing, if no one else says anything on 4.1, the preview of our commission meeting on the 10th.
Yeah, and I'm not going to take too long, but I did mock up a draft of the agenda, and then just know this is a draft. There might be a couple of agenda items that we might need to add, like HP. I need to talk to Chris to see if there's a couple of agenda items, but this should be the bulk of it, though. And again, it's a long agenda item. Oh, here's Amin.
Good timing, Amin.
Hi, Amin.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
No problem. We're getting to kind of, we had two agenda items. One was an update on the where we're at in the nominations, and then this one is to preview the next commission meeting. So before I share my screen, I just wanted to say that, so this is our last executive committee meeting of this kind of our iteration of, Chris and Erica and Amin. So I just want to thank you for being such great ex-com the past year. And Erica and Amin will be holding down the fort, Chris, without you, but we know you're a phone call away, so thank you.
Indeed. I feel like it's in 4 very good hands there. So it's been great. I've very much enjoyed working with both Erica and Amin. So as well as always, State Bar staff, but yes, the two of you in particular. And I know it's great to know the transition is well in hand.
Thank you. And so, I just want to thank the 3 of you so much for being available this year and so engaged. And it's been just really great working with you. And then the August 10th meeting. So that will be the last meeting of the term. We will be having in-person San Francisco and Los Angeles. Kim is going to start to work on all the notices, because there are going to be people that are going to be remote. And there was like confusion last time with the Bagley-Keene restrictions like coming back in full swing. There's been a lot of confusion, so we'll work through it. Those restrictions they're gonna last through the year, and then I know that there's been some advocacy to kind of see whether we can undo some of that stuff beginning of next year. But for now, the next 2 meetings we'll have to notice all the locations and stuff. But hopefully people will come in person. It'll be nice to like share a meal and see everybody and say our thanks and our goodbyes. Okay, so let me share my screen. Great. Can you see this?
Yeah,
can you see this? Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So we have 2 action summaries to approve, and then it'll go straight to kind of business. So Rocio and I will do a really brief report on administrative stuff related to grants. We're going to approve the actual guidelines themselves for the LRAP program. Then we'll approve the appointments, that one spot that's on the Trust Fund Commission. Then we're going to give you guys like a 10-15 minute kind of presentation on what we're doing with our evaluation. We're actually going to try to rehaul the whole evaluation. That we collect so much data in this office. Some of them we use it productively. A lot of them we haven't been using it. So I think we're going to try to do more of a like strategy planning around this. Maybe reboot the reboot, but not call it reboot committee. But get some stakeholders, some commissioners, legal aid programs to kind of really think about why are we collecting the data and what should be like the priority areas, and hopefully that with some strategy that will guide what we collect instead of just like ad hoc adding things or taking things off. It'll be a little bit more strategy. And then we are going to get some additional support from our Office of Research and Accountability to do the data crunching. So there's a lot of opportunity here. It's just, I think it is a good time to take a step back and think about our data. So we're happy to kind of get the ball rolling on that. Then from the executive committee, Chris, this was an agenda item that Chris was going to do last time, but we didn't have time the last commission meeting. We wrapped up the PLL grants. And so Chris and the team have aggregated kind of a nice outcomes report to share with the commission. And then our EF grants this is from Eligibility and Budget Review Committee. So one of the really kind of important things that happen at this August meeting every year is the approval of our IALTA and EF grants for 2024, as well as the pro bono allocation. I do want to give everybody a heads up, and Lauren, I'm not sure if you already received this heads up, but we got 9 new applicants this year, which is like, as far as I remember, that's a little bit record breaking. Usually we're in the realm of 0 to maybe 3 or 4, and it actually looks like maybe all 9 of them will stick and be IALTA grantees. So we might be close to 109, 110 programs for the 2024, which we haven't been at that number ever. So it's good that they're coming in on a year that revenue is high, so programs won't actually feel the impact of that as much. Care Court funding. The Care Court committee is going to be there. They've been working. They released RFP. Applications were due, I believe, yesterday. So they're going to be recommending for the full commission the approval of Care Court grants for this upcoming cycle. This is the first cohort, counties plus Los Angeles. Partnership grants also need to be approved, and then we have at least three rules committee codification topics that we didn't have time for from the last meeting that need to be approved this meeting, and then our liaison reports. So this is a really, really packed agenda item. So I guess my question for the 3 of you on XCOM is, do we want to bring any of this up? We don't usually do a consent kind of item. I know the Board of Trustees does that. I don't know if that's something we should explore or take a look at. But I actually don't even know which one would actually go on a consent. I feel like the commission needs probably to hear a little bit from each of this. We can make the presentations really short, but this is a really, really heavy agenda item of a lot of that needs to be kind of approved in order for us to get to the next kind of phase and releasing grant agreements and respective budgets.
Erica, any thoughts on that?
Dawn, can you refresh my memory? Like, how would the consent process work?
So what would this is what from just my knowledge, what I see at the Board of Trustees, the consent usually goes at the top, and there's agenda items there, and then the commissioners can always pull off of consent. Otherwise, if there's not a consent item that's pulled for like further discussion or further presentation, you pretty much vote as one block. Say like grants administration, it was consent, and there were 4 items below that. You don't go through a presentation for each one of them. You just vote as a packet. So no presentation unless it's requested.
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you scroll down again? Do we think there's...
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I was thinking, so that's one thing. Should we do that? And then what items could go there? I don't really know. Maybe partnership grants, because that's been very vetted by that partnership grants committee. But then does it feel like that partnership grants committee is not getting its due? I don't know if that has a perception of an equity issue.
Are the IALTA and EAF things kind of controversial?
There is a pro bono program that the EBR just met last week that the commission is not the committee is not recommending for the commission to approve their pro bono allocation. So it has to do with bottom line funding. I feel like you should at least hear that out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What about the eligible and ineligible applicants?
They're still doing ERCs right now, but I actually don't think that there are going to be any ineligible applicants. But again, they haven't finished completely review process right now. Still, it's getting there.
I think for each of these items, sorry, Erica, I don't have to interrupt. Train of thought. For each of these items, these are still going to be sort of written out in the report, right? Like in the packet.
Yeah. So each of these have like 6.1 all the way to 9.3. They all have memos related to it. 5.1. See, it's also one of those things like we don't have an action item for 5.1, but I feel like it would be good for the commission to hear about like the good stuff and like how we close out a grant. Evaluation report we've just been putting on the back burner. So I actually don't know which one would go like.
And my sense is that if we do put something, my concern is if we put it on consent, then there's a high likelihood that folks are not going to pay attention to it at all.
Yeah.
But if there's a way maybe to sort of truncate the presentations or the report.
Yeah, so that could be the other option. They have most of these have memos. The staff's presentation will be just really brief, and then if there are things that warrant more discussion, then we'll have discussion. Otherwise, it won't be like at every single detail that the memo goes into. And it never is, but it usually is detailed.
Yeah, I think maybe somewhat akin to what Amin is saying is like, not that maybe the email sort of reminding is like, given how packed it is, please refer to the memos because the presentations are going to be pretty short, and just kind of do it that way.
Okay.
Because I agree, I don't see an easy one to like pull out. But obviously if you think like, I was just thinking like the IOLTA EAF, if there's not particular eligibility questions that come up, that might be possibly a faster one, but I still think it's probably worth everyone seeing kind of what the numbers are and everything. Yeah.
So on 4.3, Duan, approve appointment of member. Is that the public member you're talking about?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one that you and Patience are interviewing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could potentially go into consent.
Maybe with the minutes.
Yeah, I also don't know that goes into grants administration as the
I know. I didn't know where to put it. That's why I put in grants administration. I could put a different title, or I can make this the consent, and then it's the minutes and then
I would do that.
Okay, let's do that then. Okay.
And then I personally think that the rest of this stuff is really like the business of the commission. One other suggestion though is, I guess as a header, I actually think the header could be grants, and then.
Oh, you mean this one for this one?
Yeah, leave 4 as leave that as grants administration.
Oh.
But then I think like all these other things kind of fall within grants administration as different types of grants. I don't feel that strongly about
you mean
this.
like move all of this up?
I think like the way I think it might be helpful to think about this as a body is like, here's the thing that we do, which is grants administration. Here are the various grants that we're currently overseeing. Have reports on each of these grants with action items for those. And then the things that are not part of a grant approval process or anything like that, we break out as a separate item. So for example, I would take 4.1 and 4.2 I guess like the things that are action items related to grant approval and amounts.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I might organize.
So then it would be like 6.1, 6.2, 7.1,
yes,
8.1, and the rule stuff, the business stuff.
Yes, we basically handle that as like we're going to tick through our grant administration obligations to tuck those all under the same sort of category, have reports, memos, breakdowns, and then we're basically just in the business of approving or discussing the grants administration. And then the policy stuff I would put maybe a little bit later, separate.
Okay.
Whether we do one verse first or the other first, I don't feel that strongly about. If you feel like 4.1, for example, is something you'd like to sort of introduce, then we can move that up and do that first.
No, I think we can give that a try and see how fluid it is. Okay.
And then LRAP, I guess I'd move out into a separate category because I don't think it really fits under there. That feels like
maybe instead of doing like rules committee, we could just say like rules proposals or regulatory proposals, and then put all the rules committee and the guidelines all in one.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll play around with the wording, but
yeah, but then basically I like that idea too of like put all the grants together and then all the like rule regulatory stuff together, and then kind of the reports either before or after.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, we'll give it. Okay, I think I have the gist of it.
Can you scroll down there for me? Then yeah. Yeah, I don't know where to put the. Yeah. Okay.
I'll play around with it.
I don't know where to put Chris's report on the PLL, but I guess
there might need to be one more category of a like.
Okay.
Okay. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And then we'll be, the rules committee, these agenda items, sometimes they tend to be lengthy, but I've asked the staff to like pull it up many notches because that's all been like hashed out, the rules committee. The trust fund commission should get a sense of it, but it shouldn't be hashed out again, right? Like the way it is at the rules committee.
Did we not do the reserve policy last time?
We didn't do any of the rules committee because we didn't have time.
Well, yeah, so I was going to ask actually about those 3 items under the rules committee heading. Those feel like potential consent items. I don't know if you feel like those require
so that is one other option that's potential consent because it's already been hashed out very heavily at the rules committee. And I think, Erica, what you're remembering is I previewed the IELTS to reserve policy in the distribution, but we didn't approve on the new reserve policy.
Okay, I remember us having like a long conversation about the 3, 4, etc.
Yeah,
we didn't actually approve it.
The ask was to adopt the principles outlined in the reserve policy, but it wasn't to adopt the reserve policy officially.
Okay, thank you for refreshing my memory. I remembered us having this.
Yeah, this takes time, and these memos are very lengthy and thorough, so everything should be in there.
I guess I'd be inclined to put 9.1 and 2 in consent, but I guess I would want to read 9.3 before deciding whether I thought it was, because of the robustness of our discussion the last time. It felt like that was something that people wanted to chew on collectively.
Sure.
Should I feel less ready for discussion? I don't know. Erica, you would know better than me on this.
My recollection was 9-1 at the rules committee was like, the RFP review was passed pretty easily without a lot of debate. So that one I think could probably go to consent. And I think that's true of 9-2. 9-2 is a technical one that Brittany and Raul worked on. Do you recall, Dawn? I don't remember there being.
Yeah, no, 9-2 was a technical one, and the general, the legal aid programs were fine with the framework. They sent us back to do a little bit more work to get more examples and stuff like that, and we integrated. Raul, Brady, and I integrated all that feedback. So it's at this point non-controversial, and it was a very technical one. That's why we asked OGC to do it instead of program staff.
Yeah, and I think. I mean, I know that the RFP review process, like in the past, there's been some debates about using a rubric or whatever, but like at the rules committee, it didn't, it sort of passed pretty easily. So I think those two could go on consent, and then whatever, people could just, if someone feels strongly they want to discuss it, they can just ask to take it out. Yeah. I do agree that we should leave the IOLTA reserve policy just because I know there was some confusion. I mean, I'm just from my memory trying to remember, like, we're still just doing the 2 years, but there was like a 2 and 3 dispute. So I think it's worth a little update on those elements as we set it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I think the other two are worth at least trying to put them on consent.
Okay.
So I don't recall people being upset about having a lot of debate about them.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh no, the only thing I was joking about was like, maybe we can do consent for like all the fiscal stuff too. No one else wants to get into accounting like we're doing, but I'm teasing that those will be quite debated. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, that's okay. I guess, Duan, when the agenda goes out or the communication to commissioners, because we haven't historically really done a consent calendar, do you mind just noting for commissioners, we have a consent calendar, please review, and if there's anything you'd like removed, you'll have to say that at the top of the meeting, because we'll be voting to approve the consent calendar, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea for the first, at least the first time or two that we do this.
Yeah,
I think so. And then I'll send that out, Chris, and then I think you just remind everyone once we get there.
Okay,
so we'll give it a try. Yeah, that actually should shave off quite a bit of time, so that's great.
And then 5-1 is the PLL anyway. Okay. Okay. And then you'll collapse all the rest of that stuff.
Collapse, so there'll be like you said, all the business items under grants administration, the things that we have to approve. Then I'll have another one that's for like regulatory proposals or policy or something like that, that will have the LRAP guidelines and then IOLTA reserve. And then we'll probably need another bucket for like PLL grants or whatever else is left.
Okay.
This is going to sound weird, but it might be worth in the agenda just marking like which committee it came from, because I do like that this sort of says which committee it comes from or some way, but like having like
how
let's
see,
like
from
like
this
rules
one?
committee, or just like even in like parentheses after, like if you're going to put them in policies, so like approve recommendations regarding IOLTA reserve policy, rules committee, you know what I mean? Or like, or like when you put the grant.
That's my only forewarning is all of these get approved by OGC, so it has the same look and feel as all the state bars. So they might ask that, but I'll try.
Fair enough. I was just,
I would do that. I'll put it in parentheses.
But maybe we can just present it in when we actually talk about it. But it's nice to know which committee it's coming from.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let me stop sharing this. So that's all I have. It's a very short agenda today.
Great.
Okay, anything else? We good?
We're good
I
then.
think so.
All
Chris,
right,
we've got some big shoes to fill, for sure.
please.
I am 100%
thank you,
confident that
Chris.
we can because Eric is going to be at the helm, so I have no doubt that's going to be well taken care of. But thank you for everything that you've done. This is
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. You're big-footed, all of you. So I'm very confident. All right. Well, I'll look forward to seeing everybody in a few weeks.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, Chris.
Awesome.
Take care.
Okay. Thanks,
John
everybody.
and staff. Bye-bye.